What's good is Out on a Limb, hosted by me, Adam Michalesko. I got a very special guest in here today. He was part of the 2001 Penn State Sweet 16 team who made it to Sweet 16 in March Madness of that year. He was a starter, Tyler Smith. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, thanks so much, Adam. Not too many people have called me special other than my mom and my wife. So it's very kind of you to start off that way.
Well, you are special, man. Like you did that. You played professionally overseas, and you even wrote a book. Like you've done it a lot. You've done a lot so far in your life, and it's really cool.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. It's been quite a journey thus far. I turned 40 earlier this year, and done a lot of fun things already, but still a lot left to do, of course.
Yeah, no, you're gonna kill it, I'm sure. But I do want to mention first, the camera does not do you justice. Tell everyone how tall you are.
Well, I'm 6'8". My dad would always say, because he's 6'6", and so everyone would ask him, especially my friends growing up, Mr. Smith, how tall are you? Well, I'm 5'18", and they'd be like, no, really, how tall are you? I guess I didn't have a lot of smart friends growing up.
I mean, I still have people who say 5'12". I hear that sometimes, so I made it very realistic.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that we're able to do this interview because when I last interviewed you, I'll put that link in the description. Oh, and make sure whoever's listening, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I got to get that YouTube thing. Everyone does that. But when I interviewed you for my news story, and I'll put the link in the description of this video, that was mainly about Penn State basketball. And I wanted to branch off and go more in depth with you, but my teacher wanted to just focus strictly on Penn State basketball because they were entering March Madness before quarantine. But so a 2-minute package does not do you justice. I'm so happy to have you on for, a little over an hour. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, listen, man, it's a thrill for me. I mean, this is a legendary podcast, okay? I mean, the fact that I'm being featured within the first 100, I feel like I'm top 100 material already. You're a good man.
You're on that Bibbler top 100. You're going to be my number one so far. But as I like to start all my podcasts, what's your song of the day? What are you vibing to?
Oh, my song of the day. You know what? It's a little bit, I'm behind the times, but you ever heard of the band OAR?
No, I haven't actually.
They've got some great songs out, and anytime I'm just doing some work, or I've been rebounding for my 11-year-old, now 12-year-old daughter, a bunch outside, I put on OAR. It's like they're just a really fun band to listen to. Just great beats, great lyrics and everything. So OAR, they're pretty catchy. They're big when I was in college, but I wasn't into them when I was in college. So, but they got some good ones. I'll spare you any singing right now. That's not usually my strong point. Although I was in high school chorus. So
hey, if you want to sing, it's all free range on this podcast.
This is the forum. It's an open mic night.
Yeah, I will. I'm definitely gonna listen to that right after we get off this. I'm curious what they sound like. But my song is by Sunreal. Can I Get a Witness? It's a more newer song, but it's a little poppy, so it makes it's all right. It does the job sometimes.
All right, you're educating me now. I gotta catch up here a little bit and check that out. I'll check it out after.
Yeah, he's kind of blowing up a little bit here and there. He's from Canada, so that's him.
Ooh, nice Canadian music.
Yeah, I almost said Canadian, but yeah. How is quarantine life going for you? What have you been up to?
We're doing good, man. It's funny. My family has really gotten into the show Survivor, and it's in its 40th season. They just had the season finale that they did on Zoom. But we're going back through some of the other ones, so that's been kind of fun. I've got 3 little girls, 12, 7, and 5, and they are super into it. So I tell them, listen, if you don't behave, we're voting you off the island. Okay. But that's been cool. Work-wise for me has been really quiet. I work in the operating room with the medical device company, so we work with the orthopedic surgeons and that. Actually had a case this morning, a Saturday morning, got called in. But that's been really quiet because a lot of the hospitals have stopped their elective surgeries. They're starting to get them back up and going now, but it's been a lot more time with the family. So for me, that's been great. I'm usually pretty busy and running around like crazy when COVID is not happening. So this was a good time for us to have more family time. And Nobody's killed each other yet in our house, so that's a plus.
Hey, that's always good. And I'm gonna hit on more of your job later on in this episode. But two things. One, I just interviewed Brian Tripp yesterday for another episode, and he also watched Survivor too. And I feel like that's a big thing. That's what I've been hearing a lot. Survivor is the way to go.
Listen, it got so big in our house that my kids were like, somebody's got to go on Survivor, and they all wanted to do it. We're like, listen, you're not even like 16. You can't even drive yet. You're not going on Survivor. And so they said, all right, Mom or Dad, one of you guys has to go on. And so because at the end of every show, they're like, if you want to apply to be on Survivor, just go to abc.com. And so I go, Daddy, you got to do it, because my wife, Kara, she hates the cold. She wants nothing to do with all that, like living in the woods stuff. I was like, all right, I'll do it. So, and I really like the show. It'd be really fun to, give it a shot. So we made a video with all our free time. We put together like a little 3-minute video.
No way.
Online. Yeah, sent it in. So it's pretty comical. It's like, hey, Survivor, you've never had a slow 6'8" white guy from central Pennsylvania that's traveled around the world and wrote a book. So you might want to think about, have me on.
Is it on YouTube, the video, or did you just submit it somewhere else?
No, it's not on YouTube. I just uploaded it directly to their site. I didn't know if I wanted to embarrass myself that much. I figure if I actually get on the show, then I'm willing to like be made fun of, and you can check it out. But
well, you know what? I'm gonna when we post this when I post this episode, I'm gonna tag Survivor in the post and be like, you gotta have him on.
Yes, absolutely. That would be fun, man. That'd be really cool.
Well, I'll also apply too. We could be a duo team on there.
Totally. Oh man, that'd be really fun. That'd be. Really fun.
I also got applied to The Bachelor because I need a girl in my life sometimes.
Oh yes, dude, you could get on there, man. You gotta have a thing though. You gotta have a thing like.
You know what?
When the girl walks up.
Yeah, well, you know what? Every season I've watched so far, everybody's always about the drama. So like, I'm gonna try to stay in the background, and if there's drama, the camera can pan over to me in the corner. I'll just be waving and like. It'll be my time to shine.
Yeah, you'll be like the reaction guy, like we cut away to Adam.
Yeah, I'd be like, what just happened?
What is going on? Guys, everybody just chill, man. Everybody just chill. You'll be the chill guy.
So when you go into the hospitals, do you have to wear masks and all? Because my dad, he always works in a hospital as well. And like, Corona's obviously, that's where all the patients go. So like, I guess you got to be very careful with that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's funny, when I came home, like I said, all right, girls, before I give you a hug and a kiss, like I'm gonna run take a shower. I take, my stuff off, throw it in the laundry, and get cleaned up. Just to take extra precaution. I mean, the hospitals are doing a great job. I mean, our hats are off, obviously, like everybody else too. The doctors and nurses and everybody really doing the hard, kind of riskier work these days. But it's just part of my job, and they do a nice job making sure that everybody's really being as safe as possible. And it's kind of crazy, the world we're living in right now. Nobody would have guessed anything.
Oh, 100%. And like, yeah, you're right. Props to everyone, working in the healthcare system. They're kicking butt right now. So, hopefully everyone stay safe. But I'm going to talk about first how we met. I believe it was through our friend Cam Ongst. I think he introduced me to you. And we went to a basketball game, I believe. And that's kind of how it started off. And that was your background, so I was pretty happy to have you on. And then actually I asked you to do that interview, and then I think we got a little bit more closer. Like, we're good friends now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I know you don't want to talk about the real way we met, holding hands on the beach. That's okay. We can talk about
that was for my Bachelor clip. I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, no, we definitely have the basketball and sports thing in common. And I always enjoy our talks and hanging out, man. It's been great.
Yeah, and like I said, I did a news package with you. Oh, look, you got your daughter in the back.
There's one of them. There's my little 7-year-old.
But we did that news package, and it was really cool because that, like I told you before this episode started, that's my most viewed news package so far that I put on my main channel. So I'm pretty proud about that. And I mean, it was all because of you. You were the best, interviewee, I should say.
Oh, you're very kind. Well, I think it's been my mom. She's just been, every day she watches it probably 8 or 9 times trying to boost her views. Well, you did a great job on the package. Seriously, that's really well done. And those things, they're not always so easy to put together and flow, but you really did a great job. You were super prepared. And I was a telecom major in college also. So I know some of the work it takes to kind of go into that and the prep work and stuff. And you made it really smooth and easy. So well
I appreciate that. Yeah. And when I was looking forward to doing another episode, let you go to say hi.
Hey, next time say hi. She's giving me a little.
That's all good. But when I did that, I wanted to do another episode, or I guess when I came back from spring break, get more clips of you with actual footage. And my teacher at the time wouldn't let me to upload clips from YouTube because copyright and whatnot. But on this podcast, so far I've been doing it a little bit, but I make sure I put the courtesy who's all been a part of that. So far so good. So I'm gonna put a little clips in here, and hopefully no one gets in trouble.
No, you're fine, man. CBS is not going to come out after you. I promise.
I mean, you're a big name, so who knows?
Oh, yeah. I know. Me and LeBron, man, we're both trending most days.
So you kind of hit on what your job is currently. So we're gonna go a little past that. But what do I guess we will explain a little bit with your job. You said that you go in hospitals and it's what the company you do. So how did you get involved with that after your whole basketball career? How did you decide to get into that job?
Well, it's funny because your skills from playing basketball professionally around the world don't necessarily translate to anything else, unless maybe be get coaching or scouting or be an agent. And I considered all those options. I mean, it was so much fun to be able to play a game for 11 years all around the world. And I thought, man, it would be awesome to be an agent. It'd be great to be a coach. But every job obviously has its pros and cons. And I'm like, I don't really feel like traveling a whole lot more. I'd like to be able to kind of settle down in one spot because there was so much uncertainty with my job for so long. And so I kind of had 3 criteria that I wanted to meet when I transitioned from playing basketball to a more regular type job. And one was I'd like to be in state college or in the area so we don't have to move. That's where we had our house, and we'd come back to in the summertime. And then I wanted something that had some nice earning potential, and hopefully something that I could enjoy. And so it had good work-life balance, and I was able to kind of find those things with this medical device job. I reached out to a couple of old guys and not classmates, but a couple of old ex Penn State football players that had been in school when I was in school. And I said, hey, I see you guys are doing something like in the hospitals and medical devices. What is that? And I remember the conversation I had, Justin Kirpakis, he played with LeVar Arrington, Courtney Brown, and those guys. Justin actually was in the NFL for about 6 years, won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady and the Patriots. So he's like this big, beast of a guy. And I remember having this conversation with him on the phone, and he's like, well, we do this and that. And I had no idea what he was talking about, he's saying all his medical device terms. And he goes, have you ever been in a surgery before? And I was like, well, my wife's had 2 C-sections. Does that count? He's like, that's good enough. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. at the hospital. I was like, okay, great. So there, he and Mike Lukac is the other guy I work with. And they were really nice to kind of let me shadow them for a few weeks, and it was unbelievable to kind of see what these guys do and how they help the orthopedic surgeons and the staff during surgeries. We wear scrubs, but we're not getting all cleaned up and scrubbed in. We don't actually touch the patient, which is probably safer for everybody.
Right.
We kind of just act as advisors during the surgery, make sure all the instruments and implants are good to go, and kind of help just direct traffic a little bit. But it's a really fun, really challenging job that I've really grown to love. And part of the reason is because I just have great guys around me. I mean, Mike and Justin are so much fun to work with, and just super, super guys, and really, really smart too. So it's it's been a great transition for me. I've been doing it now. This is my 7th year with the company. It's called Zimmer Biomet, and
Mhm.
just really like what I'm doing.
Well, you got to tell your friend to go back and play with Tom Brady, just like Gronk did. Tell him to go to Tampa quick and win a Super Bowl.
Yes, well, he's won a couple of titles. He doesn't want to brag about it, but
Oh,
the semi-pro team, I think it was up in Du Bois, he was playing, where he had a little success post his NFL career. So there's probably a statue or something of him up in Du Bois.
that's hilarious.